Many business decisions and actions are based on missing information as opposed to information that you have collected. So here I have an example of a provider credentials system, and a provider is just another name for a doctor or medical provider. And in this case, each provider, we need to track the various documents that's needed for their credentialing, which could be their medical license, their state license, driver's license, passport. You'll see the list in a second. Now, the list of documents that are required varies depending on the specialty and the location, the state that the provider is in. So you can see on this report, here we have a list of the documents that have been uploaded, and here's a list of the documents that are missing. And every time a new document is uploaded, the system automatically removes it from the list of missing documents. So let's go into one of these doctors, and I'll show you how this works on the screen level. So here's the provider and their general details, which we don't really care about in this video. But here's a list of the documents that are required, and you can see that not all of them are checked. This doctor is in Connecticut, so they need a state license Connecticut, but they don't need the state license New York. We've uploaded a couple of documents already, and here, and this is what I really want to show you, this is the list of missing documents. So what it's doing behind the scenes is it's comparing the list of documents that are required for this doctor, it's comparing that against the list of documents that we have uploaded. So let's say that we also need the passport. Okay, and now you can see the passport has been added to the list down here. And let me take that out because we don't really need a passport. And poof, it's gone. So it automatically calculates every time you add either to this section or to this section, and we're going to add a new document here just so you can see how it works. And we will upload board certification. Okay, we're going to browse the local hard drive, and we have a test document, so we'll just choose that. We'll attach it. All right, and now you can see the board certification is gone from here. So this makes it very easy to track what's missing, because that's more important than what we have. A doctor cannot be fully credentialed unless all the documents are uploaded. And we've got these, which is nice. We need to have them. But now we can contact the doctor and say we need to get a copy of your driver's license, your diploma, etc. So this really simplifies the management of credentialing providers. This can also be used for any other type of business where you have multiple documents that you need, or multiple steps that need to be done before the final product can be shipped. So this concept is useful in many businesses. So let's take a look at how this is done first at the screen level, and then I'll show you the coding in the background. So first off, there's a list of document types. So here's all the document types, and there's a little description field, so you can just indicate anything that's required about that document. So if you're going to upload this document, it must include the home address, phone number, as well as practice addresses. So you can add the details in there. All right, let's go back to the provider details. All right. Okay, so once again, let's go back into the list here. And I just want to show you one other little feature here. We have a select and deselect. So let me click that. Everything is unselected. If I select it again, we have the full list. And let me just take out a couple of these. And you can see you have some very nice control on this. So if one particular provider needed almost all of these, you just click here, they all get checked, and you uncheck the ones you don't need. And vice versa, you could unselect all of them and say, well, I just need 2 of them. Okay. Okay, so you can see how this works, and it can be very useful when you're managing this type of application. So let me take you into the back side of it, so you can see how the code actually works, because there's some interesting tricks that could be useful in other Zoho applications. So, okay, here is the edit version of the form, and the documents required and the missing documents are both lookups to the document type file that I showed you a moment ago. And I'm just going to show you how this works. So I'm going to drag a new field here, because these are all lookup fields, and they're lookup to our document types. And I'll just select document type. And the important thing is, instead of a display type of drop-down, it's a display type of checkboxes. And that's what gives us the nice style where you can select each one of the ones that you want. I'm not going to add this field, just wanted to show you how this screen here works. Okay, so I'm going to cancel that. So anyhow, that's how we built the list of documents required and the missing documents. And I'll show you how we select each one of those, how the logic compares the documents required to documents uploaded, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay. First I want to show you how that select and deselect works. So I'm going to go into the field actions, and that's a decision field, which basically has a true-false value. Alright, so if it's selected, so if it has a value of true, we take the documents required and we select all. A very simple statement that does a lot of nice things. If the value of select deselect all is false, then we deselect all the documents required. And I'll explain this statement in a moment. We'll get to that. It's a very powerful feature and helps make forms very simple. All right, let's go back to our full edit mode here. All right, so the documents required and the missing documents are identical as far as the lookups to our list of documents. When this form is loaded, the missing documents is disabled. And let me just show you that real quick, for those who may not be familiar with the disable field. So on load, we just have a one single statement that says disable missing documents, and that just makes it so that the user can't change any value in that list, because that's calculated. So basically, any field that is calculated behind the scenes, you want to make sure that's disabled, because you don't want the user to override a calculation. All right. Now for the actual logic on how to compare our list of uploaded documents to the list of required documents, that's all done in this field called do calcs. And this is a hidden field. And let me just go into that real quick, because there's really two features I want to show you with this. The do calcs has this nice logic in it, and anytime a document is added or the list of required documents is changed, this do calcs is automatically run. And let me show you that before we go into the actual calculation here. All right, so let me come in here. Okay, so on our list of documents required, if we do anything with that, check or uncheck a box, then it will call this single line statement, which says that we're going to change the value of do calcs to what it says here. So if do calcs is false, remember it's a decision box, so it has a value of true and false. So if it's false, make it true. If it's true, make it false. So basically what this says is whatever value is in do calcs, change it to the opposing value. And what that does, and let's come down here. Okay, what that does, it always triggers the on user input of do calcs. So that's a nice way of having this fairly complicated logic on doing the calculation, and it's in one location. It's not in multiple on-user inputs. It's in one location, but it can be called from multiple parts within the form, which makes this much more maintainable. If we had to add a little logic here, it's done once instead of 5 or 6 places that it's actually called. So this is a very useful function. So let me run through this and show you how to compare the list of required documents to the documents that are uploaded, and then build a list of missing documents. So first we're going to clear our list of missing documents, and then for each required document in our input field of documents required, so we're going to go through each of the documents that has a check mark on it in the required list, and we're going to basically set a value of found it equal no. Then we go through our subform of all the documents that have been uploaded, and for each row in that subform we check to see if the document type of the uploaded document matches the required document that we're currently working with. So we go through this full list for each required document, and we check each row in our subform for each of the required documents. So if the required document is found in our document subform, we mark it as found it yes. So we go through each one, and then at the end, if found it equals no, then we add it to our list of missing documents. So we have this statement here which says whatever the required document up here, we're going to add that to our list of missing documents, and then we're going to select it, which means we put a check mark on it. So once again, let's come back to our live mode, and you can see here's our list of missing documents, and let's let's check that. Let's say we also want to have a driver's license. So what it does, it goes through each list, each of the check marks in our document required, compares it to each one of these, and then if it doesn't find it, it adds it to our list of missing documents. So let's quickly just look at that code one more time. All right, so we go through the list of required documents one by one, and for each one we then go through each row of our subform, and if we don't find it, then we add it to our list of missing documents. Okay. All right, so the only thing I didn't really cover is our uploaded list of documents, which is a subform, and that really is just another form, and here's that that form, and it's a regular form that's embedded in another form. So this is called a subform, and it's embedded into a master form. And in that subform, it has a single select lookup to our document types. So the that same list of document types is used for the documents required, the missing documents, and the document types in our subform. So I think that pretty much covers how this works. It's doesn't have a lot of moving parts. It's got a few, but it can add a lot of power to an application. So I hope this video helped you understand some of the possibilities of what you can do with a Zoho form. Thank you.